Well, welcome everyone. This is Virginia Parsons. I'm your Hangout mentor and the host of the Inspirational Businesswoman Show. And I have with me today, Michelle Moreno. And she is a business coach. She is a professional actress, a professional singer and media producer. And she has so much to share with us about the idea of building confidence through getting no's in business and in life. And we've just had a fabulous interview over on Hangouts on Air. And if you did not see that interview, I suggest you go and check it out later, because she had some great tips for you to get over your own insecurities around, getting rejected. We all experience rejection in one way or another in life if we are at all venturing out, taking risk. And the key is not to let rejections bother you, but to use them as a way of growing your confidence and being able to step even further out of your comfort zone so that the world can know about you and what your passions are. So Michelle, thanks for coming on to our Blab After Show. And I want to thank our people who are joining us right now. We've got Melanie Lane, we have Gail, we have Jeffrey Dodd, we have Carolyn Durden. And I know more than will continue to come on in. So let's give them a brief synopsis. Those of you who are with us over in the Hangout, I appreciate that you were there, and thanks for following us on over here today. Give them a brief synopsis of what you learned as an actress and how you've taken that into your business coaching.
I learned that, you're not going to be yourself, to never try to hide anything about yourself, to always be authentic, no filters, because in acting, you really have to be in the moment. You have to be present. You have to be listening. And I feel like that is such a huge lesson for business, is to get out of your own head and just be present and focused on others. And also don't let the rejection crush you, and adopt the growth mindset, because if you allow the lessons from all those failures to come in, you will grow. You'll grow your brain, you'll grow your skills, and you're always just on an upward trajectory. You're not fixed. You don't have a limited amount of intelligence. You don't have a limited amount of skills, or even a limited amount of sales skill. You can continually grow those skills like this, and a failure actually pushes you higher on a trajectory of growth. You literally grow synapses and neural networks in your brain if you allow lessons from failure to teach you something.
Well, I think that that's the key, that so often we just suppress our energy when someone turns us down. And, we've got, I just want to welcome a couple of people here as I'm looking at who's jumping in. Melanie Lane, welcome. I'd love to meet you. Feel free to jump on in and add to the conversation. And anyone else who has questions.
Yeah, I love
Melanie
questions.
Is a high-level sales training, does high-level sales trainings for entrepreneurs. So that's always a terrific thing, isn't it? So yeah. You can certainly add to the conversation, Melanie. We'd appreciate that. And if not, she says, hi there, thank you. We'd love to give shout outs to our fellow entrepreneurs. That's really what my passion is about. And for some of you who don't know me, again, my name is Virginia Parsons. I am the producer of the Inspirational Businesswoman Show. I've been doing it, for a year and a half at least now. I've got about 75 shows under my belt over on Hangouts on Air. And we've started to move the after show. Wow. And lots of failures along the way, by the way. We have started to move the after show over to Blab, because I know there's a whole other audience here of people who can contribute to our knowledge base and our passion for helping entrepreneurs step out of their shadows and be the best that they can be. And my saying is, step out of your shadow and shine as the go-to expert. Well, you know what? You can't do that if nobody knows about you, if you're a secret in the world. So what Michelle is talking about is letting people know and keeping yourself confident in the process, even though what you have to offer is not necessarily what everyone needs, or is not something they need at the moment. So let's go into this a little bit deeper. And anyone else who wants to come in, Melanie's saying, well, I look a fright. Well, okay, Melanie, Thank you anyway.
Well, just come on and just, just talk like this.
Yeah. Here she comes. All right, come on in. Look your natural self. Love to meet you. There she is.
Or like this.
Good on you, Melanie. Thank you. We're going to give you a few props. Okay, so your idea of looking a fright and my idea are two different things.
You look cute.
So talk to us, Melanie. Tell us a little bit about what you're doing in the area of sales training.
So I am a sales trainer. I am an author.
Can't hear you. Can you up your volume a little bit?
How about that?
That's much better. Good.
How about being in front of a microphone? That would be helpful.
It's like huge.
Sorry about that. Sorry. Forget. I'm so flustered. So it's nice to meet you guys. I'm a sales trainer. I am a keynote speaker. I'm an author. I'm a closer for the last 15 years. I do blabs on here, and we do interactive, basically a hot seat. Right. So I'm not much into theory. I'm not much into, banners and murky stuff. I want to assist people right now, right here. Where are you having trouble? Where are you stuck? You can't ask for the money. You can't overcome that objection. You have the wrong mindset. You come from you're not positioning things correctly. So I'm really kind of a get to it kind of a person. So we do these blabs and people will come on and they'll say, well, I never get the deal and here's what I think it is. And then we're going to role play and we're going to do it and you're going to show it to me. And it's going to be painful because you're going to think the whole wide world is looking at you, but they're not. Most of the time, all the people in our chat rooms are looking at you saying, oh my God, I do that too. Oh my God, now I see, right? Because unless you do something, it's not going to get into your biology or into your DNA. Most people are watchers. And so they'll watch something and they'll think, oh, that's interesting. And I say, well, the carpet's interesting. Now get up and let's do it. Right. Mm-hmm. So now you know how it feels to ask for the money. It's not that bad. Right. Mm-hmm. It's not pushy. It's not aggressive. It's not mean if you position it correctly. Mm-hmm. So
absolutely. And if you've ever heard of a woman named Carol Dweck, she's a Stanford professor, and she did a talk called The Growth Mindset. Mm-hmm. And what you just said, if they don't take action and get up and do it, they're not going to get it into their body.
Well, it's not gonna happen. Things just don't happen, right? And if you're not gonna do it here with me, you're not gonna go out there and do it with a stranger. It's not going to occur. And so, so we do all, and I help people through concepts that are pretty difficult. We make it understandable. I absolutely love doing these blabs because you get to see people bloom. Yeah. And you get to see them. And this is not only for a sales environment, this is in life, right? In life, we're all persuading and we're all moving someone to do something, because when you have an interaction, someone's going to buy something and someone's going to sell something, regardless of if it's a real sale, right?
That's
the short version.
That's absolutely right. And by Melanie allowing a practice space, and if you make it sure that you find a practice space, whether it's Melanie's Blab or a trusted colleague, so that you can practice going through the motions and putting it into your body, because then your body is more prepared. You literally are preparing your body as Tiger Woods does when he goes to take a golf shot for the big day.
So, yeah.
And I would like to add, we've got a question here from Gail, Raven Gail, and she said, as a solo practitioner, how does one portray themselves as an expert without reeking of hubris? Good question, gals. What do you think?
For me?
Yeah, both of you.
For me, for
your feedback.
What I would say is, I guess it's whatever your mindset is, right? Because I happen to be an expert in selling. Right? Now, does that sound pushy? Well, it depends. If I just talk about how many millions of dollars I've sold and what I can do and what I know and, all my cool trophies and all this stuff, and, that sounds like a lot of hubris. But if I talk about it in such a way so that my experience allows me to assist you, right? And it gives me the tools to help make you better, that doesn't sound so snooty. Yeah. So Everything is positioning. Everything is coming from a place of service. right? So if that's what your
Yes.
goal is, and if that's how you are and how you feel, that's going to come across. If you just want to be a snippy snip, right, and tell everybody about how great you are, it doesn't matter what you're good at or what you say, you know. Hi, David. My friend.
Hey, David.
Dusty.
Oh, hi. How are you?
What's the matter?
Hey, David, what's the matter? Are you in bed for a reason?
I thought he was in the hospital.
Oh, my goodness.
That's what I'm wondering. What's going on? Can't hear you. Speak up.
Sorry, I didn't mean to pop in. I didn't mean to pop in. That was an accident.
Well, look, let's just take a second, because I see that you're involved with sales too. Tell us a little bit about your own experience in cracking the confidence code in sales. As long as you're on, you were supposed to be here, right?
David's a beast.
Wow. Well, thank you. Yeah, I've spent the last 26 years in the car business, and although I had a lot of experience with one-on-one, getting in front of a group of people, public speaking was a really huge, big thing for me. I get very nervous when I talk in front of a group of people, and as I think Melanie knows a little bit about some of the things I do, but actually I'm just leaving, after 26 years, just leaving the automobile industry and kind of going into real estate. But getting back to the point, I was able to experience some success by just action. And what I mean by that is saying yes to opportunity without thinking about it, without really, going through it in your head and thinking about all the bad things that could happen, because that's the first thing that we think about. That keeps us crippled from going forward and actually doing something amazing. So, I had an opportunity to co-host an internet TV radio show podcast that was really big in the car business the last couple of years. And as a result of that, I was invited to speak at some big conventions in the automobile industry out in Las Vegas, which I recently did. And it was a huge hurdle for me. Oh, I'm sorry.
You're good.
Sorry. My phone is talking, but.
But this is an important point that you're making.
I forgot to turn off my run keeper when I was on a run. I just got back from a run. That's why I was laying down for a second. But anyway, hey, the bottom line is that you've got to just take action. When you have a fear, or when you're maybe not feeling confident, the only thing that's going to gain you confidence, in my humble opinion and in my past experience, is actually taking action and having a victory, experiencing small victories, which will build that confidence up.
Well, that is really what Michelle pointed out in the interview that we did. This is our after show for the Inspirational Businesswoman Show. And we do that over on Hangouts on Air. And we have a wonderful audience with her. But I decided there's too many powerful, great women. I interview women, and occasionally, David, some great men. But with the idea that is one way that you can step out of your comfort zone, take some action, get some exposure, gain visibility, and feel like you've got a victory. And so go ahead, yes. Michelle.
And David, to your point, I'm a coach, and I design actions for my clients such that they get a series of small wins, because wins beget wins. Now, I was just talking all about failure and how to deal with it. And I'm saying, everybody go for 100 no's and fail. While that's true, you want to design actions that are at the edge of your comfort zone, and you want to design a series of small actions, or do something that's way outside of your comfort zone. And then immediately after, plan for something that's right in your comfort zone so that you can have a win immediately after. Because if this goes haywire and it's a big fail and you've got the sting of it, you've got this new activity where you can have a win and build your confidence back up. So to David's point, that is very, very smart. Design the action so that you can have a series of small wins and then go for something big. And then I wanted to pick up on what Melanie said about how not to come off as cocky when you're just trying to be confident and position yourself as an expert. What Melanie said was, You want to serve first and make it about the other person. So you literally in your speech want to put the word you 20 times more than you put the word I, so that you take the focus off of yourself and you talk about what you're going to be helping other people do. So make it about them. And that's, marketing 101, copywriting 101, put it in terms of the you, so that you don't come off like, hey, I did this and I did that. So you don't come off that way. But number 2 is you got to be you. So if the real raw you is going to turn some people off, oh, well, they're not your peeps. So just be authentic, be real. If part of that is saying, you know what, I'm a kick-ass whatever, then that's what you're going to say, because that's what you believe. And either the people are going to like it and they're going to be drawn to you, or they're not. And it's better to have people who are really into you in a small group than just sort of everybody kind of feeling like, I don't know how I feel about her. You're not going to make any impressions that way.
Michelle.
Well, so do all of you guys recommend keeping some kind of a journal or track of your wins? Because I know when I looked back over 2015, it was really valuable to look back at what I would call my successes or my wins or my accomplishments. Because sometimes you get sort of dragged into, the day-to-day tasks of getting things done, and you forget all that you've already gotten done. So I'd love some feedback from all of you on that. Go ahead, Michelle, first.
Yeah. Well, what I have my clients do, especially for my clients who are really lacking in confidence, because that's one of my coaching specialties, is I have them go through and make a list of their accomplishments. Some people do it with a journal. Some people go back throughout their entire life. But I have them look back and say, look, you've already done so much, because they forget. They forget all their wins. They forget all their accomplishments. It's also a great way, if you're looking for a job, to build a series of accomplishments in the marketplace, so that you can take it either into your sales call or into a job interview. So, for example, let's say you're a stay-at-home mom and you're going to go back in the marketplace. Well, guess what? The work that you did on the PTA counts. Your volunteer work counts, and you can put it on your resume, and you can remember how much you helped the PTA, and you can realize, hey, I'm not just sitting here as a stay-at-home mom. I'm really helping and doing things. So you have to go back and document it, especially if you have that kind of lack of confidence.
Yeah, I would agree. Melanie, what about you? What do you have your clients do?
In terms of understanding,
documenting or keeping track of your successes.
I guess I'm not understanding the context. So you're saying in case they start to feel, in case they start to struggle, or what?
Well, I just think that it is a process that you can go through when you're working on sales, and when you're out there soliciting sales, which I don't even like that term, but when you're out there sharing your expertise and getting it out there, there are times when it gets discouraging, and yet when you document what your accomplishments have been. And as I say, in my case, I just went back to the past year and said, holy cow, I got a lot done. I have a lot of positives, a lot of successes that I can look back on and feel good about, which I think helps in what Melanie's talking about today in cracking the confidence code. So I'm just curious about what yours and David's approach to that are.
So for me, and I have clients from lots of different fields, but I'm kind of one for the hunter mentality, right? Nothing matters. It doesn't matter, right? If you're going to get discouraged about a couple of no's, then this probably isn't the line of work for you, right? Every no is just that much closer to a yes, and it's a way to hone and perfect and practice, right? Because if someone is just not right for whatever it is this is, that's a great opportunity, right? So it's really in just how you choose to look at it. Now, sure, you can go back over and look at your successes and go back over and do that, but and that's one tool, right? That's one thing. You can go and look and see whose lives you changed, and remember that when you first met them, they were a total no. This isn't for me. It's not. And all of a sudden, through your abilities and your discoveries and all the tools that we've taught you, right, now you understand how to have moved that person so that at least they'll listen. right? Because you're not interested in grinding or making somebody buy anything, but it's technique that gets a deal. So we're always honing our technique. So it's not so much about going back. It's a lot more about what's in front of you. And we'll talk about what you're doing, right? Because you probably left a lot on the table. And so being able to see that is invigorating. Oh my God, I did that. Oh my God, I won't make that mistake again. You know. So there's a lot of that in training.
Great. David, how about you? Do you have some thoughts on that?
Well, I think, as an individual, I think that it's important for you to go back. I do think it's important for you to log your victories and keep track of them. I think that's important simply because when you're thinking about the next goal and the next thing that you want to do, and it seems a little big or it seems a little overwhelming, it is good to be able to look back and say, well, you know what, this was big at the time, and this was big at the time. And, I made it through those things, which means it's possible. And I think that ultimately, people have a lot more power individually than we give ourselves credit for. If you know someone who's, maybe you're close with someone, maybe there's someone who's a friend of yours or someone that you know pretty well that has really made it big in their industry. And you go, well, that's just Bill. Bill, to me, it's just Bill. To everybody else, it's like an icon, right? But when we really do get to know everyone who's experienced great success, although there is something different about them, especially when it comes to work ethic and things like that, they are really just another person. So I think once we figure out how much power we really have as an individual, then we can start to go further. And I'm a big fan, by the way, of Melanie's, and because we're both in sales, and I think that Melanie, very much like me, and I don't want to speak for her, but I think when it comes to the actual sales field, we're probably not real easy on excuses. We're more like, hey, pull up your big boy pants, let's go. And there's a process that works. Just listen up and let's do it. So I love that about her. But anyway, that's my 2 cents on
Well, that's a good 2 cents, and I appreciate that. And Michelle, maybe we can sort of top this final Q&A time off. And again, if you have any other questions, feel free to type in the question area. But let's top it off with, you have a video that you're offering for people on the 3 secrets to selling without being pushy. And I did put it in the comment section. Anyone wants to go pick up your gift on that. Do you have a few things you can share right now with people around that idea? How to sell without being pushy?
Well, I have a whole 5-week training period about it. But I think at the end of the day, one of the most important things is to be present. And to be present, you have to have all of your emotional needs met. You have to be well hydrated, well fed, well rested, and you have to take whatever negative energy you have going on, or be it addictions that pull your focus and energy, any other emotional baggage, and you have to either put it in the box before your big sales conversation or set it aside and really focus on becoming a happy person. Adopt positive beliefs. Hang around people who are up to great things. Get rid of those toxic relationships. Once you have all of those things and you are able to be happy for the things that you have every day instead of complaining about them, people will naturally be drawn to you. You will draw people in. And if you have a very clear and confident business offer to make, and if you have a hot product that people want, and if you continually refine your service or your product based on real world feedback, if you are really focused on getting that product to be hotter and hotter every time and really serving your clients top of mind problems, then you won't really have to sell. You'll have a hot product that sells itself, and you'll have a persona and a presence that'll draw people right in.
Yeah, I love it. I think that when you come from a mindset of being of service and giving the best of yourself to someone in service, that it doesn't feel salesy. It just feels like you're making an offer. It may or may not be correct for them or that particular person, but you are making an offer.
That's right. It's not for everybody.
Yeah. Yeah. Good. Well, thank you everyone for jumping in. Melanie and David, great to meet you guys. I hope I'll see you in the future.
Can I just ask a question?
Yes, sorry. Melanie, go ahead.
I was just wondering about Michelle. I was just looking at your gift. What is your background, Michelle?
Ethnically, I'm Mexican.
No.
Okay, we got that, Carrie.
Tequila.
I think she was in a little bit about your acting and all the ways you got to be where you're at today, because it's an interesting story, Michelle.
Your sales background.
Oh, my sales background. Well, I don't have a sales, quote unquote, sales background.
I'm sorry. I see you're a coach, and I was telling you some of my background. I was just wondering what your sales.
Yeah, sure, no problem. Well, I come from a small town in. No, I'm just kidding.
I was going to say do it in a Mexican accent, but you didn't give me a chance. You're hilarious. That's funny.
Okay, so all right. Well, I'm a singer and an actress, and so in that respect, because I've had to hustle my own gigs, I call myself the joy hustler, and I've had to hustle gigs in entertainment for my entire life. But before I started singing and acting professionally, I was a business writer for two business gurus, Tom Peters and Guy Kawasaki. This was a long time ago in the early 90s. And so after singing and acting, I sort of, kind of got my yayas out in that industry. And I decided I wanted to bring that back in a way. So I went into business coaching. So I brought back my writing career, and I thought, well, I'm going to combine my entertainment and just all the confidence that I've had to build, and I'm going to apply it to what kind of confidence you need to have in business. So I specialize in sales, presenting, speaking, and going on camera, because those are all things that I've had to do as an entertainer and that I'm very comfortable doing, and that I can advise other people on.
Okay.
So Brett wants to know what the confidence code is that we're talking about here. Can you explain that a little bit?
Virginia came up with a confidence code, but I think it just refers to all these different aspects of building your confidence. For me, I had a client, and one of my very first clients, she was at a sub-zero confidence rating when she came to me. Literally. She was at a sub-zero. She had personal stuff and business stuff that I didn't even know if I could honestly help her. I was worried that I couldn't. It was that bad. And I took her through my process. My process is going through and remembering the positive work that you have done in this world and help people, whether it's personal, professional. Part of that work is retraining your brain, which if any of you practice NLP or neuro-linguistic programming, or if you do read a lot of Tony Robbins, he talks a lot about, retraining your brain to see the positive. A lot of it was figuring out the things that she needed to do outside of coaching that required a licensed therapist. And then I started designing actions for her that she could take in the real world, small ones, baby steps to get her back into the game. And now she's at a 6.5 confidence rating, and she got her business back in order. She has clients, she has cash coming in, and that is really the confidence code. It's a combination of all these different things that you have to do to get your mojo back.
Good. Okay. We had a little delay there. Anyway, I think that's really important, because what you've been through, and I think that's true for all of us. Our life experience has everything to do with the confidence we do or don't have. And in your case, because you've had to go through so many auditions where people told you no over and over again, you built up a confidence. And as you said, when you originally wanted to start coaching, you wanted to coach on confidence.
I did.
Yeah. And then realized that the call for, how many people go out and do a Google search on confidence building? I don't know.
Confidence coach, not too many. So I have to go with selling, presenting, and I'm great at all those things, and I love it, and I'm really enjoying it. So so it's tying together everything. But to answer your question, Melanie, I'm a singer. I sang backup for Ray Charles. I'm also an actress, and I've had little tiny parts on a bunch of shows like Boston Legal and Parenthood and The Shield, the old Shields with Michael Chiklis.
Were you 3 years old when you were on those shows? You're a baby. How can she be on Boston Legal? My goodness.
I'm older. I'm older than I look.
Wow.
But Melanie, let's get together because I would love for you to do. Let's talk after. I'm gonna find you because I wanted to ask you a question.
I won't look like this though. But
I will call you. I like your hot seat thing. That's awesome. I want to be on the hot seat.
There's a lot of people in here who have been in my hot seat.
I'm scared. I would be scared to be on the hot seat.
No, it's wonderful. It seems scary, but it's not, right? It's just it's it's a way to unpack whatever it is that you're doing or not doing that's not effective. And then fix it. That's all. I mean, and then it can be so easy. It's just, it's like a lot of the things I do, it's the easiest, hardest job there is, right? It's not difficult, but nobody does it. So it seems like it would be difficult.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I have followed both of you guys, so I'll look forward to seeing your shows down the road and catching up with more of what you're doing on Blab. Isn't this a fun medium to be in? We really enjoy it, and I love your spontaneity. And thanks for coming on, as you say, not looking your best. I think you're beautiful, but
yeah, David's looking good too.
Good day.
My best friends are distance and darkness, and right now it's a little too light in here for me. So and no makeup. But I thank you. It was lovely meeting you guys. It's nice to see you again, David. And yeah.
Look at David. He just went on a run, and he's looking good.
Well, he's so cute. He can't help it. Bye. Take care.
All right, everyone. Thanks so much. It's been great having you here. And Michelle, again, I did post for you if anyone wants to pick up your free video. It is there for them in the links. And so thank you once again for joining us on the Inspirational Businesswoman After Show over on Blab. You guys all have a great day. Bye-bye now.